no matter the location. From O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider.
Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. We're going to do a post-game reaction here to the Raiders getting absolutely thumped 45-20 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I'll tell you what, I'm really, really mad. If you're ticked off too, you can type FTB or you can like the video right now. So the Raiders, they fall to 3-3, and in a game that was 24-20 in the fourth quarter, the Bucs scored 21 unanswered. And I mean, it just absolutely killed me. This was a game where I wish the Raiders would have went for it on 4th and 1. It was 24-17, and I was saying, go for it, go for it. And they didn't go for it, and I think it gave the Bucs a lot of mojo, and it allowed them to get the momentum back on their side, and it really took the wind out of our sails. Now, I'm going to try to stay a little bit positive here, but Derek had a bad turnover late in the game. Could have also been on Nelson Agholor, but Tom Brady looks elite. I mean, he does. He looks so freaking good at 43. So what I want you guys to do right now is vent with me. If you're pissed off about the loss like me, let me know. Who's to blame in this game? I mean, the defense gives up over 30 points a game. Coming into this one, you're giving up 30.4. And now you just gave up 45 to the Buccaneers. I mean, you could easily argue this is the worst defense in football. I don't care how great your offense is. But oh my goodness, to give up 45 is so frustrating. Could you put the blame on Trent Brown? Trent Brown was the reason why the offensive line wasn't able to practice the whole week. And they got whooped. And I mean absolutely whooped up against Tampa Bay. Could you put blame on Gabe Jackson for getting into a fight and for getting tossed? For a game where you have a veteran that needs to be able to keep his cool, and he was unable to do that. That is super, super frustrating to me. So, like, from top to bottom, this was a game where I just wish the Raiders would have been a little bit more smart here. And I'm looking at some other teams in the AFC. The Chiefs, they're going to win. It looks like the Chargers, they're going to win. I mean, the Chargers, they're probably going to go to 2-4. The Broncos fall to 2-4. This was a game where if you win, you can stay in the AFC West race. You were unable to do it. So what I want you guys to do right now is use hashtag Raiders or Super Chat to get your questions featured on the show. Got a Super Chat coming in from Zornell. Fire Paul Gunther and find a pass rusher. If you guys want the Raiders to fire Paul Gunther, type FPG. Because you know what, man? I'm starting to get sick and tired of all these players that we're going out and getting not being able to do anything on our defense. And if you go out and get a player, what's the point of having a player on defense if the guy running the defense still has no idea what he's doing? It's time to fire Paul Gunther. You've seen it for 3 years. The defense has not been good since you went out and got him. So if you want them to get rid of Paul Gunther, type FPG. And if you want somebody to go out and get a pass rusher, maybe go out and get Carlos Dunlap. I think you can get him right now for a 4th-round pick from the Bengals because for some reason, they're just simply not playing him. He's frustrated. His teammate Geno Atkins is also frustrated. Another player that I want the Raiders to go out and get is Anthony Harris. Make the move. Got another question coming in here using hashtag Raiders. Brandon Martinez. Promote Rod to the defensive coordinator and demote Paul Gunther to cut Brandon Parker, Trent Brown's last chance. Everything that you said here I'm with. Brandon Parker was terrible in this game. I get that he had to fill in for Sam Young, who was filling in for Trent Brown. But, I mean, Brandon has never been good. He's been an absolute bust. Trent Brown should be, I hope he starts taking things a little bit more serious here because the Raiders are about to get fined $350K. Plus, they could lose a draft pick. I don't think it happens, but it's because Trent Brown didn't wear his freaking tracking device. And, yeah, just time to fire Gunther and make Rod Marinelli the defensive coordinator. So this was a report before the game came out that because Trent Brown didn't wear his tracking bracelet, and again, it's another offense. I mean, you're also talking about a team that's just had so many things happen to them around COVID this year. You could see them not only get fined $350K, which is going to take their fines to about $1 million, they could lose a draft pick. If the Raiders lose a draft pick because Trent Brown wasn't able to play because he got put on the COVID list because, again, he didn't wear his bracelet, he has not taken this entire season seriously, in my opinion. I mean, it's super, super frustrating. So I'm seeing some people saying, yes, this one's on Trent Brown. So how about this? We'll ask you the question. Is this loss on Trent Brown? Why for yes and for no? The reason why I'm going to continue to say and for no is because you can't put it on one person. However, he does deserve some blame. The offensive line wasn't ready because they weren't able to practice. The defense got torched because Jonathan Abram wasn't in there. Was it 100% because Abram wasn't in there? No, but it definitely doesn't help. Trent Brown, get your shit together. If you want to be a Raider, start showing it. Because to me, you're making about $1 million, no, $1.3 million a week. 2020 was a hell of a tough year for a lot of people. If you don't want to take that money, put it to something else good, because right now it's not doing us any good. Now, I do want Raider Nation to start taking COVID a little bit more serious, because I don't want this whole thing to happen again, and I'm honestly sick and tired of talking about it. So wear your face mask, do your part, do what you need to do, and if you see somebody not wearing one, say, hey, at least go out and get a Raiders face mask. Chatsports.com/Raiders mask, how you get one. I just got this 3-pack the other day. You can put them in the washer. If you don't believe me, follow me on Instagram. I literally wear them everywhere I go. Chatsports.com/Raiders mask. Some of them are on sale. If you want a Josh Jacobs mask, go ahead and get it. I'm going to put the link, which will be available for you in the comments and in the description. Make sure you're repping your team. Let's start taking this thing a little bit more serious, because I don't want to have to continue to talk about it on the Raiders Report. I'll be honest with y'all. Got a question coming in now from Kurt Wagner. Should have never traded Khalil Mack. There's parts of me where I'm like, you're not wrong. But again, if you don't trade Khalil Mack, well, you don't really get Josh Jacobs then, right? So, or you don't potentially get Jonathan Abram. But Khalil Mack is still an elite edge rusher, and it's frustrating not being able to get after the quarterback. Another week where you don't have any pressure. My question is, why promote David Irving off the practice squad when you don't play him? Should have played David Irving. I got another super chat coming in here from Spurter4757. Should we trade for offensive linemen due to the injuries? So you're talking about Sam Young went down. Gabe Jackson just got thrown out of the game. So, Jackson hasn't been very good. I'm hoping Richie Incognito can come back. Colton Miller's been pretty good this season. Rodney Hudson's solid. Hopefully Trent Brown's back next week. The issue is, who are you going to trade for? Like, the offensive lineman, if you wanted an offensive guard, the guy should have just went out and got was Quentin Spain. However, he just signed with the Bengals. So, for me, I don't see the Raiders making any adjustments whatsoever on the offensive line because of how much money you have invested on the line. I mean, think about it. You got Colt Miller, he drafted in the first round. Incognito, you just gave an extension to. Rodney Hudson's he's one of the highest paid centers in the league. Right guard, Gabe Jackson's making $9.5. Then Trent Brown's the highest paid right tackle in the league. Yeah, you're not going to invest more money in the line. Let's go to Antonio Nuno. Make sure you guys are using hashtag Raiders. You are watching my live reaction here to Raiders against the Buccaneers. We do live reaction as soon as the game ends. Gruden needs to be more aggressive. It's not that I totally disagree, but again, I don't think the offense could be. Derek Carr was under duress the entire game. The offensive line got whooped. And so for you to sit there and say, yeah, they need to be more aggressive, they threw the ball well early on. He was 24-36, 284 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. The issue was you couldn't run the football because the offensive line was getting beat up, and because you continue to run to the left side because you couldn't run to the right, it got easy to predict, and the Raiders got one-dimensional. So, I don't know if he needs to be more aggressive. The team needs to step up and needs to start playing better. Let's go to the next question coming in here using hashtag Raiders. Scott Moore, what up, my man? You can beat the champs, but you can't stop Crybaby. WTF. Kai Brady. The Bucs have been playing well. They just beat the Packers 38-10. Then sure they just dropped 45 on the Raiders. It's one of those things that's frustrating, though, because you see a team that can play to Super Bowl caliber. And, that's what they did. They played up to a Super Bowl caliber up against the Chiefs. And to come back and play like this the next week, man, it was hella frustrating. Let's go to Jose Lopez. Get a picture of my dude. Need to make a move ASAP and fire PG and send a message to the players. I think the message needs to be, either start playing with all your heart or, I don't want it. I'm going to look at guys like Corey Littleton where, is it Paul Gunther's fault? Sure. But also Littleton was out of place a lot. There was the biggest play on defense was that 3rd and 13 late in the fourth quarter, and Littleton's just nowhere to be found. He's out of place. Tom Brady hits Leonard Fournette for 13.5 yards, pick up a first down. They go down the field and score. There's a lot of moves that need to be made, but yeah, I'm starting to get to the point where fire Paul Gunther needs to happen. And if it does happen, I will be going live. We'll be making a video about it. And so that you don't miss any Raiders news, so you don't miss any Raiders breaking news, subscribe to the Las Vegas Raiders Report. I don't know if I hit 60,000 subs yet, but my goal was by tonight, by midnight, to hit 60,000 subscribers. We are 20 subs away. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the Raiders Report. I would appreciate it. Because if you bleed silver and black, man, I promise you will not find another channel that is more dedicated to giving you guys up-to-date information, having a good time, but also giving the nation a voice, because the nation deserves a voice, especially after this game. Let's go to Cesar. What up, my man? Josh Jacobs needs a second running back to help. I don't agree with that. I think Josh Jacobs is an elite running back. Did he have a bad game? Sure, but he had nowhere to run. And I mean, Devontae Booker had nowhere to run. Jalen Richard at the end of the game just picked up garbage. But it's one of those things. Josh Jacobs is the type of running back where you can lean on, where you can give him 20 touches a game. But you can't do anything if you don't block, right? I mean, if you're getting hit in the backfield, I'm not going to put too much blame on Josh. So, again, if I'm going to make a trade, if I'm going to make a move, it's not going to be for another running back. Invest that money. If you are going to trade away draft capital, invest it in the defense. Let's go to Dre T. If we stick with Carr, we'll be like the Falcons in 2 years. No. See, the difference is Matt Ryan's making $33.5 million basically. Derek Carr is making only $21.5, and I thought Derek played well. When he needed to use his legs today, he did. He picked up some clutch first downs. Both of his runs came on first downs. And sure, he had an interception, but the ball came on the fingertips of Nelson Agholor. I'm not going to put that pick on DC. This is a game where he was under duress the entire game against a very good defense. I'm not going to put it on him. And no, I don't think it's the same because Derek, you're going to pay him basically $21.5 million over the next 2 years. That is a great contract for a quarterback who's showing right now that when you give him protection and his team is healthy, he can play up to a top 10 caliber. But none of that matters unless you have a defense. Let's go to Barry. What up, Barry? We need a pass rusher and a safety bad. Also need to think about bringing Prince back. I think he's still available. No, I mean, he's on the practice squad of the Cardinals, so he signed there, I believe, 2 weeks ago. In terms of we need a pass rusher and safety, I mean, I totally agree. Go out, figure out a way to go out and get Carlos Dunlap, go out and trade for him, maybe Anthony Harris at safety. If you don't want to trade for anyone, I mean, you got Earl Thomas. Sure, he's a cancer in the locker room, but I could also make the exact same argument about David Irving. I mean, David Irving has just as much off-the-field issues as Earl Thomas, so if you don't have a problem with David, I get it that he worked with Rod Marinelli, but in my opinion, in the NFL, you don't play favorites. I mean, you just saw the Buccaneers. They're about to get Antonio Brown. That offense is about to get better. You want to be able to compete with teams like that? Make some moves. Earl Thomas, Clinton Dix. I mean, they're still out there as well. Eric Reed. I would love Eric Reed. Let's go to Robert Lee. Why did we not pass more? I mean, they threw the ball 36 times. I don't think it was that. I thought they threw the ball okay. It was just they're trying to stay balanced. You also got to remember, I mean, the Buccaneers, you want to talk about taking up clock. I mean, the Bucs offense was on the field for a ridiculous amount of time. Sure, the Raiders still had time of possession advantage, but, I mean, maybe you could have threw the ball to Nelson Agholor, who continues to be probably the top option on offense in terms of the wide receiver position. 5 catches, 107 yards, and a touchdown. Darren Waller was able to find the end zone in today's game with 50 catches and, a touchdown. So, again, I mean, did I want him to throw the ball more? Sure. But at the end of the day, you still got to stay a little bit balanced. The amount of messages I'm getting right now for fire Paul Gunther is incredible. We did just get a super chat as well from Mr. Ermold, so we'll get to that in just a second. We need a defensive back. We need Damon Arnett to get back healthy. Trayvon Mullen, I thought, played exceptional. The fact that Mike Evans in this game was basically shut out, I mean, that was incredible to me. He had a great game, and Scotty Miller was the one that killed us, right? I mean, if you're going to go into a game and say, okay, we can take away Mike Evans, the issue is the Raiders need somebody to step up in the slot. They don't have that. So that's why you see a guy like Scotty Miller torch us over guys like, Nevin Lawson as well. You have your number one corner in Trayvon. You need to be able to have your QB cornerback too. That's what you were hoping Damon Arnett was. Unfortunately, he's banged up. LaMarcus Joyner's been a bust, and, well, everyone else there on the defense has been pretty suspect as well. Super chat coming in here, and I love it. Mr. Emerald. Sucks that we lost, but we can't lose hope. Sign Earl Thomas, Vontaze Burfict, haha. Eric Reed, Clay Matthews, Prince Amukamara, and Eric Berry. So I'll say yes to Earl Thomas in terms of talent. No to Vontaze Burfict for the simple fact of the NFL is going to be looking for him, and I don't think he would end up playing the whole season. Clinton Dix, Eric Reed, yes. Clay Matthews, no. He's a 3-4 linebacker. Prince Amukamara is on the Cardinals, and Eric Berry is washed up. Because, he's been injured. So continue to use hashtag Raiders or Super Chat. You are watching this Raiders versus Buccaneers live post-game reaction. We go live every single Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. But after every single live Raiders versus whoever watch party, we do live reaction. So if you want to be featured on the show, use hashtag Raiders or Super Chat. It is by far the easiest way. Fresh out the pin. Earl Thomas only have issues because he's not getting paid. We need him. And if you tell me right now you get Earl Thomas for a vet minimum contract, I would think about it. And I think Earl would too. And again, if you're putting up with guys like Trent Brown, if you're putting up with these other players, it's an issue. And honestly, it'd be great to pair with a guy like Jonathan Abram, who couldn't freaking play on his birthday because he was out shopping for shoes with Trent Brown on Tuesday. I hope those shoes were worth it, because I'll tell you what, it really, I think both these guys honestly need a little bit of a kick in the butt and realize how big this week was and how, we're in a pandemic right now and you can't be taking any risks. And Trent, wear your freaking bracelet. But I do want to wish Jonathan a happy birthday. I wish he could have been on the field today. I wonder if it would have made a difference. I want everyone right now to type 24. Wish him a happy birthday. We do have some face masks, though. Chatsports.com/Raiders masks. Jonathan Abram, Trent Brown were unable to play because of the coronavirus. So if we can start kicking this thing in the butt. I don't really like how the Raiders have handled a lot of this, especially, and I think it starts at the top with Jon Gruden. You need to start sending the message taking this more seriously, because I don't want the Raiders to lose a draft pick, and I don't want to see some of our key players not end up in games. So whether you're going to the grocery store, maybe a gas station, I can't even get into my building here at Chat Sports without wearing one of these bad boys. So do the right things. Wear a face mask. You can get your Raiders ones at chatsports.com/Raiders masks. I got another super chat coming in here from SportTer4757. We will get to it in a sec. Use hashtag Raiders or super chat to get featured here on the Las Vegas Raiders Report. So appreciate everyone who is watching now. If you haven't already subbed, make sure you do. SportTer, he just says, fire Paul Gunther. We might go for Geno for a fifth. If you get Geno Atkins for a fifth-round pick, I at least think it's something that you need to look into. Now, what I want you guys to think about is the Raiders' schedule going forward. You got Week 8 against the Browns, Chargers Week 9, then the Broncos, Chiefs, Falcons. You need to be able to beat the Browns. You better beat the Chargers. You better beat the Broncos. The Chiefs, they're going to want vengeance. The Atlanta Falcons, they just lost to the Lions today, but still they're an offense that knows how to move the football, and going to Atlanta, that scares me. Week 13 at the Jets. Week 14, Colts, Chargers, Dolphins, Broncos. The schedule does get a lot easier, which is nice. However, the Raiders have been a team that have always kind of played down to their competition, and I don't want that to happen. Just got a super chat from Elias Gonzalez, just sent in $5. Much love to you, my man. So what I want you to do after seeing the Raiders schedule, predict the Raiders record. Currently, they are at 3-3. I'm hoping that you can get to 10-6. 9-7 I think is going to be good enough to be able to make the playoffs. The schedule does get a lot easier, but you got to be able to show up. The defense needs to be able to play better. I'm worried that if you don't make a defensive change with Paul Gunther, you don't end up making the playoffs. So right now, after the loss, let me know what the Raiders' record is going to be at 3-3. I see some 9-7s. I see some 10-6s. Continue to let me know. And if you made it this far in the video, please go ahead, give me a like. Subscribe to the Las Vegas Raiders Report. The next time you'll see me live is Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific.